Hey everyone, Arcade here bringing you my 2 cents on Little Nightmares. Let's talk about it. Little Nightmares was released on April 28th, 2017 for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. What exactly is Little Nightmares? Little Nightmares revolves around a girl named Six, who awakens on a vessel called the Maw. Upon awakening, she realizes that this isn't the lavish Disney Carnival cruise she had thought she'd signed up for, and quickly decides it's time to make a daring escape. Along her journey, she'll be joined by miniature pyramid heads, hunger pangs, and the entire human cast of WALL-E. And that's it. That's all this game is about. A little girl in a raincoat trying to escape a ship. How exciting. Most of the time you're going to be running from the left side of the screen to the right. On occasion, you'll run into a puzzle that impedes your progress. Puzzles are cool. I like puzzles. I like having my little brain tickled up, giving it some little goochie goos. But I didn't get any brain tickles. All I got were stupid fucking puzzles that were so simple, even a literal vegetable could have solved them. There's no depth to these obstacles. It's either pull this, then run here, or grab that and run there. That's what these puzzles boil down to. And when you aren't running from frame to frame or solving basic bitch puzzles, you'll be running away from some of the most disgusting piles of polygons you will ever see. It's almost Halloween, right? You guys wanted spooky stuff, scary things. Well, here you go. Yeah, boys, check that out. That's the Pillsbury Doughboy. And while you're running away from these things, be prepared to die over and over, because that's right, you guessed it, you get to solve puzzles. More puzzles, more basic puzzles. And you think that'd be easy, right? Because they were designed for people with the IQ of 6? Well, you guessed wrong, because it's not easy. But it's also not hard, it's tedious. While you're trying to solve puzzles, you got Mr. fucking Spaghetti Sam the Sauce Man, who's over here trying to grab up on you like you're a chick at a fucking dance club, and if you let him grab you, it's right back to the last checkpoint. That makes it kind of annoying to find where you need to go, or what you need to do, because you're going to die multiple times during the process. How's the presentation? Despite the game being boring and simple with its narrative and gameplay, the presentation here is definitely something I enjoyed. The game's art style reminds me heavily of Tim Burton's work. If Tim Burton's earlier work and Pixar Aesthetic Incorporated stepped into a teleportation machine, and instead of teleporting they ended up becoming fused together like what happened in that one episode of SpongeBob, this would be the result. It also made me think a little bit of Coraline. You know, that movie that probably messed you up pretty well if you saw it before the age of 7? It had the mom with the buttons for eyes. It was like a Tim Burton movie that wasn't actually a Tim Burton movie. Yeah. That one. This game's sound also deserves some recognition. Little Nightmares, for the majority of its playtime, is rather quiet, and that's not a bad thing at all. The music here is usually very subtle, sitting quietly behind the actions taking place on screen. While exploring or solving one of the game's puzzles, the music sits idly by, waiting for the right moment to strike into crescendo, giving you a feeling of dread and anticipation. The times that the music raises is few and far between, but like I mentioned in my video a couple weeks ago on Gigantic, I enjoy when developers know how to use music to its full potential, instead of shoving it in my face, forcing it onto me like a pastor preaching religion to the lost souls of high schoolers who hate going home to their alcoholic stepfather in fear of being beat. Overall, I love the presentation here. I love the cute yet dark artwork found in this game. Little Nightmares lays the atmosphere on nice and heavy, lays it on thick. Oh, so thick. That creamy, ooey gooey atmospheric atmosphere leaking out of every nook and cranny of this game. Finally, the gameplay. I'm gonna be blunt about this. I really don't like how this game plays, and I think it's the added spatial depth in this game. The comparisons between Little Nightmares and Limbo, or Inside, have been made many times before this video, and I'm sure they will be made many times again. It's obvious that these two games have many similarities in how they both play and look, and that's where the comparisons should end. See, most of the time with Limbo, or Inside, you're either going left or right. There isn't much of moving further into the background or walking more into the foreground. It adds depth to the levels, which is nice, but the camera positioning ultimately makes that gift of added space to run around in turn into more of a curse. I can't tell you how many times I died because I wasn't where I thought my character was. The camera can behave a little wonky at times and be placed poorly during others, and that's a bit of a shame, as it added frustration to my playtime and took me out of the immersion more than I would have liked. I wanted to like this game, but I can't say with an honest heart that I do. The visuals are nice and the character designs are pretty grotesque and interesting, but that's it. That's where the enjoyment from this game for me ends. I actually caught myself at times rushing through parts of the game for the simple fact that I wanted it to be over. Even with taking my time and only rushing through a few bits here or there of the game, I saw the ending in less than 3 hours, and that's too damn short for my taste. This game retails for $20, and if you spend your time exploring and finding all of the collectibles, you could probably stretch your playtime up to something around 5 hours or so. There's also some DLC that's been announced and supposedly adding on to the narrative, but I more than likely won't discuss that. It's unfortunate that this game was such a letdown. It doesn't very much feel like a horror game, but more of a pretty animation about a kid in a dollhouse with evil adults and oversized furniture that occasionally throws you little exciting thrill scraps that end up making you feel more hungry than 6 was during her journey. So would I recommend Little Nightmares? Is it good enough to add to your October spooky game backlog? Probably not. If I'm being honest here, I'd have to say that it's definitely not worth full price. So that was my 2 cents on Little Nightmares. If you enjoyed the video, pound the thing, click the other thing, and I'll see you all next time.